But some of this I really don't know how to tackle in the best way. You know. Hi there, welcome back to Fresh Start Budgeting. I am now nearing the end of June, and would you believe it, I actually didn't create a budget with me for the second period in June. What I find happens is I actually receive my income payment on the 15th and the 30th, and then my partner receives his disability payments on off dates, so the 22nd and then 3 days before the end of the month. And so what I find happens is that I'm waiting for his payment to come in so I can do that planning for the period, and I already start spending the money, and so then I just kind of spiral out of control because I don't get that opportunity to sit down, actually do the cash stuffing with the money that I have and make sure everything lines up. So that's what I found this period. So I'm going to need to be thinking about different ways of doing that and how to handle whether, because it's not split equally into weeks and things like that, I get myself confused on how best to do it, whether I should be doing it sitting down with each payment and divvying that up, or kind of letting it flow the way that I'm letting it flow right now. Anyways, I think by looking at this, you can see that it doesn't work, just letting it flow, because the things that I intend to spend the money on, it doesn't actually happen that way. I think as well, some things that I haven't been totally transparent about so far have been some of the challenges in managing the money. Specifically, my partner does have severe depression and anxiety, as well as chronic pain. And so spending has been a bit of a coping mechanism. And if you've ever dealt with somebody in depression, when they don't want to do anything, it can be very difficult. And so when they do want to do something, you want to make it possible. And that's what I found myself in that I'll do whatever I can to make sure that there's money to be spent so that we can go out and do things when he does feel like doing that. So I don't know if anybody has dealt with budgeting with somebody with depression or having depression themselves and how to navigate that. So I think that that's going to be a big piece of my journey here, and what you're going to see is a lot of that spending is unplanned spending, but it's something that I feel is necessary at the time, because it's a way of not going into a downward spiral. So that's a challenge, and that's, a challenge I want to be transparent about as well. There's a lot of our spending that has to go towards medical marijuana for the chronic pain and for the management of the depression. And so that is a big expense that we're dealing with. So you're going to see that here. So I've just split out, I've written down, I've managed to go through, write down everything that we did actually spend and what we did do through my checking account and also through cash spending. So you can see that the totals there, it comes out to $3,300 and some change. I've got a little bit of money left, but again, it's got to carry us forward for a few days. So I'm just going to share, this was just all the spending that had happened, so I'm going to share specifically where that spending kind of falls. Okay. So food, I felt like we did a little bit better with the food budget this week. The actual grocery shopping, or this past 2 weeks, the actual grocery shopping stayed under what I was trying to, which was the 500. So we were at 464. And Skip, we did have friends over, my daughter's friends, for her graduation and things, and so that's where primarily this money went. So that was okay. It was 182, so it's still lower than what I've been dealing with in the past few months. I think I'm going to do a video where I just kind of show how much has been spent on food and how that's changing over time. For household, a couple things that were unplanned, but again, with my daughter having friends over, we needed to do some updates to the bathroom, make sure we had all the soaps that we needed, different things like that. And so that's what happened there. Subscriptions, I did get an Equifax subscription, and that's actually to help me with my delinquent accounts and understanding what my total debt picture looks like. So that's another video that I'm going to be doing. Adobe, my daughter she has a small sticker business, and so that's what that investment is. An Instacart is a convenience subscription, of course. Utilities, so our electricity and water comes to $300, and then I pay for my mother's cell phone bill, which is $17. Okay, so now down here is where we can see where some things start to fall apart. We've got, these are the totals that I've spent since the 15th of June to the end of the month on medical marijuana. This is my personal spending, so stopping for coffees on the way to work, grabbing some different salad kits and things on the way to work, comes up to $46 over that 2 period. This is where the spending comes in that I was talking about. And so I've attributed both to myself and my partner, because I want to be fair here. But there are a lot of specific things that are my partner's hobbies, as well as, we did go out for drinks one day. We went bowling a different day. We limited ourselves to $40 at the casino and actually won more money back, so that was okay. We did go to a movie. So we do walk and go to a local coffee shop and get some coffee. But again, these are things that I feel very torn about, because I don't want to completely cut them out, because that really does lead into a spiral of sorts, and I don't want to go there again. It's a very difficult place to be, but it becomes a lot of money, and that's a lot of money that we can do other things with. We can make bigger plans, going on vacations or other things, but we're spending it on kind of these incidental, unplanned things. And it's something that I've always just really struggled with, how to make this work without triggering something else. And so if anybody has experience managing that or dealing with that, I would greatly appreciate a comment or link to one of your videos or anything else, because I feel like this is going to be the most challenging part of our journey when you look at that spending and then you look at the cost of medical marijuana. I mean, it's a big portion of what's going out. Then, as I mentioned, my daughter had her graduation, and then she was also planning like that end of the year camping trip. So there are a number of things that she did there. We stayed pretty much where I thought we would with the total spending, and so that was okay. And then my other daughter, she's going into grade 12 next year, and so a lot of the time she's out of the house, and so she's buying herself food and entertaining herself. I don't take her out anymore and kind of do spending that way, so I just provide her with some money to do as she would like, and she does the lawn care and other things around the house too. So we save money from bringing somebody else on to do that. And then transit, because we don't have a car. I don't have car insurance and gas, but I do pay for, as you can see, occasionally taxis to go different places, and then bus tickets for the family. So that's where that comes out. So this was my total spending. I still do have about $400 left, and so I need to go out and I need to buy some dog food, and I need to those types of things. I don't want to spend any more on food. I am going to be making just some different challenges for myself in using the food that we have, because my food budget is quite large, and it feels like it's getting bigger kind of with inflation and the cost of things that are going to be coming up. So I do feel like this is one area where I can keep things under control and not go over budget. And then, yeah, I mean, this is the total picture of where we are today. So I am going to be making out my plan for July. I don't want to get to the point where I'm at the end of the period and then going back and trying to fit whatever happened into the plan. I want to have a plan moving forward and just keep making sure that I fine-tune things to get us in a better place. But some of this I really don't know how to tackle in the best way. I do feel like if I had my children quite young, I've always kind of felt like if I was I hadn't had children, I hadn't had, people that were depending on me at different points, I don't spend a lot of money on myself, so I would probably be in a very different position. But this is where I am, and this is what I'm trying to navigate right now. But I appreciate you coming along.